Braden is going to start us off today in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. Braden, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, Braden. How can I help?
So I interviewed for a job as the director of my department, and after waiting about a week, my boss calls me in and says that I didn't get the job, or actually more specifically that I was still a possible contender, but there wasn't an agreement among the top-level leadership, and then proceeded to ask for me and my coworker to field candidates for that job that I was denied. And I'm wondering, is this inappropriate? Is this something that should be tolerated, or was this something I should be grateful for?
Well, what would you be grateful for? I'm having a hard time, so I'm not seeing anything you should be grateful for because he's asking you to field candidates. Does that mean be the first line of screening?
Yeah.
Is that normal in your company?
I don't think so. So we're a small local government.
Well, that
employer.
explains it. That explains it. Anytime a local government bureaucrat's making decisions like this, as head-scratching as it is, at least I have some context. Let's just go back for a second and just boil this thing down. How does this make you feel? Be honest. Be raw.
Demoralized.
Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
I would say.
Yeah.
And then just the entire process was pretty, just wasn't communicated, honestly. I applied for the job. We're doing the job with my coworker. We're a small team in the IT department.
So you guys have already stepped up and are essentially filling the role as a team, as a duo, while they're trying to hire for it.
Correct.
Yeah. Yeah. I listen, I love the word that you used because I think you've nailed it. It's so deflating. I mean, it's like, I've got these little air mattresses my kids use, when they have friends that stay over the house.
Mm-hmm.
And every time we, clean up the room after the friends have been over, I'm stepping all over this thing to get all the air out of it. You know what I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah. Definitely.
And it feels like they've just stepped all over you. Just repeatedly through this process. So, number one, I wanted to acknowledge that sucks. And I've been there before. I have. I've been there before where I was up for an opportunity. I'd done everything that was necessary. They gave me hope, and then they pulled somebody else in, and I just never recovered from it. This is not recoverable for you in this organization. You can recover, but the only way you will recover from this is outside of this organization. That's the reality. They've just stepped all over your heart. Am I right?
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Every time you walk in since that has happened, what's it feel like when you walk in, when you get up in the morning? What's it feel like?
Agitation.
Yeah. Yeah, you know what? Now you're in the agitation stage. At first, it was deflation, wasn't it?
Yeah.
What'd I do wrong? Shock. What'd I do wrong? Right? Am I right? You started analyzing everything you could have done differently, all that kind of stuff, beating yourself up?
Yeah, definitely.
Now you're in the agitation stage, right? Like, guys aren't even treating me with basic dignity here. They would be better off to just come to you and say, hey, you're not going to get it. There was some disagreement. Some were for you, some were against you, and the against one, I'm really, really sorry. Like, that's human dignity. I bet that didn't happen.
No.
Yeah, of course not. Horrible bossery. I need to send your leader a horrible bossery coin that Gary Spratt sent me. We need to send these horrible bosses a medal that says, you have displayed zero dignity for your people, and thus you get an award for being a horrible boss. So, damage is done. Every time that you are involved in this fielding process of candidates, it is going to rip the scab off. Every time. Am I right?
Yep.
All right. So as of today, we are saying this is not the place for me. Do you agree with that?
Yep. And I actually, I voiced that yesterday at a meeting, and they didn't really have much to say about it.
No,
so
they're not going to. They don't know what to say. They don't know what to say. Because you've never had any performance issues with these folks, correct?
Not recently, no.
Yeah, so here's the deal. And I want to make this point because I am never going to have a problem hammering horrible leadership. It's part of my job, okay? But listen to me. I don't think that this is a bad person. I just think it's a bad leader. And when bad leaders do stuff like this, they compound their mistakes because they don't know what they're doing. Do you understand?
Yes.
Yeah. It's like me the time that I tried to fix my lawnmower, right? I thought it was a spark plug issue, so I started taking it apart, and I realized pretty quickly that I'd taken one thing off that I probably shouldn't have taken off, but I didn't stop and back away slowly. What did I do? I kept digging and putting stuff wrong places, pulling it apart, and then it's just they make it worse. So here's the deal. We're moving forward. I'm going to give you whatever you need today. If you need the Get Clear career assessment, for you to get your purpose statement and a detailed report on talent, what you do best, passion, the kind of work you love, mission, the results that motivate you. If you want that, I'll give that to you. You want it?
Yeah, that'd be wonderful.
Yes, it is wonderful. And you take it and you match up your purpose statement with job descriptions out there that you're interested in. And it's like you lay that purpose statement over those job descriptions and go, okay, does this match up? In other words, can I spend most of my day using what I do best, talent, doing work I love, passion, producing results that matter to me, mission? And you start looking today. You hear me?
I will.
And then listen to me. You heal from this. Because just because a bad leader didn't value you doesn't mean that you are devalued. Do you hear me?
I hear you.
You believe that, Braden?
Yep.
Do you believe your best days are out in front of you?
I do.
Absolutely, my man. I'm sorry. From the bottom of my heart, I'm sorry that you've been walked all over and that your heart's been deflated. But the good news is, as you begin to focus on your future and your unique contribution and your value, that heart will start to pump back up. Do you hear me?
Yes, sir.
So your number one homework assignment is hang on the line, get the assessment. I'll give you my book, From Paycheck to Purpose, which the assessment's the compass. The book, From Paycheck to Purpose, is the field guide to walk you up the mountain to your dream job because it's out there and you know it's out there. And I really appreciate you calling. Folks, we cannot forget that we are humans, even though we're adults. I'm a middle-aged dude, okay? And I am just like everybody else. When leaders overlook us, when leaders hurt us, because they're people too, they're not perfect, we have to be okay not being okay. And go, it doesn't make me weak. It doesn't make me a snowflake. I got feelings. I've got thoughts. I have psychology. And I have got to be able to process it, heal from it, and move forward. It's very important. Because as I've said many times, just because they're a bad leader doesn't make them a bad person. But they may have just showed you that the exit is where you need to head next.